It's easier. What?
Hello, everybody. Your sound is on.
Oh, shit. Well, that's a bunch of fat horsecock. Unless you're into that, then
great start.
Yeah. I'm having a day. Yeah. So welcome back to Regrettable Reviews.
Welcome.
I'm Regrettably Arthur, and this is my wonderful
Bridgette.
Regrettably Bridgette. Yeah. What are we doing today?
We are talking about one of my picks that I was really excited about. We were talking about The Man Who Fell to Earth.
Oh, yeah. Let me kick it off.
1976.
This muted? Yes, it's already muted. Yes, 1976.
1976. Nicholas Roeg.
I'm going to cheat a little bit since we're not actually listening to it. I'm just going to put it at 1.5 just so we see more of the movie.
Yeah, that's fine. Starring Mr. David Bowie.
Yeah. I mean, Legend. It's David Bowie.
It's David Bowie.
Without him, this movie doesn't exist.
No, not even a little bit.
Oh, God. I was reading. There were a couple other people they had potentially cast for the role. And I was just like...
Michael Crichton, the author, was one of their potential picks for
who I did not know was 6'10".
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, I won't double check that. And like, it's 6'9" some places, 6'10" other places. But yeah,
Jurassic Park was actually an autobiography.
Yeah, he's actually the T-Rex. Yeah.
I
ended up doing a deep dive on his fucking Wikipedia because of that, which
I love that.
Not here now, but someday I have some information to drop now.
I love that. Right off the bat, I'm gonna say this was actually my fourth time watching this movie.
First time for me.
Okay.
Let me hit you with this right off the get-go. Can we pick shorter artsy movies? I don't have a problem with artsy movies, and I don't have a problem with long movies. I don't think that they bleed well together. For me, I'm looking for more entertainment, like on the screen in a long movie.
I suppose.
Even if it was an artsy movie and it was broken up by some action.
I just want to say we're already past this, but this reminds me of Moonstruck in that it has such a powerful top billing where the first name you see is in Moonstruck, you just share. In this, just David Bowie.
Yeah.
What a powerful fucking top billing for your movie. I'm all like, if I'm watching this for the first time, I'm already 75% sold.
Well, right, yeah. Like I said, this movie doesn't exist without David Bowie. It exists because I would go to see it because of David Bowie.
Precisely. And the thing is, it took me until the third time that I watched this movie for me to like it.
Yeah, and I just don't think I'm ever going to get to that. I might see it another time at some point. I just don't think I'll ever get to 3.
And the fact, and the reason I kept coming back to it, or the thing that brought me back to it enough for the actual film to kind of sink its hooks into me, the thing that brought me back was David Bowie. The thing that interested me in this in the first place was David Bowie. Because David Bowie was my replacement for a fucking personality in high school.
That makes sense. There's a lot of people like that. David, 10 grams of cocaine a day, Bowie. per his
Yeah,
direct. He did this entire movie on 10 grams of cocaine a day.
absolutely insane. Actually, I also have read the book, The Man Who Fell to Earth, which I decided to read it after my third viewing of this movie when I finally enjoyed it for the first time.
Okay, all right.
But I marked a couple passages that I want to just point out
Okay.
because David Bowie is actually like is pretty much a dead ringer for the description of Newton that they give in the book.
Nice.
He was not
Love
a
to see it.
man, yet he was very much like a man. He was 6.5 feet tall, and some men are even taller than that. This is a little different. His hair was as white as that of an albino, yet his face was a light tan color and his eyes a pale blue. His frame was impossibly slight, his features delicate, his fingers long, thin, and the skin almost translucent, hairless. There was an elfin quality to his face, a fine boyish look to the wide, intelligent eyes, and the white curly hair now grew a little over his ears. He seemed quite young.
Okay, if they had chosen to give him like white hair, it would have seemed like one of those cheesy sci-fi movies.
Yeah, like I like that
That
they
get made fun of, you know.
Yeah. I think the fact that they let him still like they didn't say like, oh, tone down the rock star look or whatever, have a normal hair color. The fact that they let him remain so recognizably Bowie,
Yeah, they did nothing to de-Bowie him.
precisely. Also, this opening sequence, I love the way it's shot because the cinematography is just so disorienting, and everyday things are shot as though they are like horrifying and alien.
I mean, they do an excellent job in making you feel like all of this is abnormal.
Mm-hmm.
And
And it's very much not.
right, she's opening up a store. He's walking on a bridge. He's walking down a hill.
Yeah.
He's sitting on a bench, and it just feels so awkward.
It feels so wrong.
so completely foreign.
Also, just Jesus Christ, he was so fine.
I see. So for me, David Bowie has always looked like he used to be fine. He always looks like he used to be sexy. He never looks sexy.
This fascinating.
You know what I mean, though? Like someone who's aged past their prime. Even this, when he's clearly in his prime, he, to me, looks like someone... In the photo, he looks a little better, but he just looks like someone who's just a hair past his prime.
This man was ethereally beautiful, in my humble opinion.
I do agree with the elfin quality, though.
Like, again, and also, even without the mythos surrounding the person David Bowie, like,
Right.
if this had just been an actor that they found a guy who looks alien. Or, like, as close to alien as you can get.
A humanoid alien.
Yeah.
David Bowie is a humanoid alien. He is Ziggy Stardust. He
Yeah.
is, you know...
Precisely.
This whole scene, this is the point where I realized that it's a little too artsy for me.
Mm-hmm.
Is this water drinking scene where he gets the water from and then he sits there and it strips down his chin, but then time goes like backwards and then he's drinking it again, but he never moved. So
Yeah.
it's so trippy.
And here's the thing, the first time I watched this, I had a lot of trouble with the sort of disjointed and like very dreamlike nature of the narrative. And I appreciate it so much more now that like I've come back to it multiple times, like had time to sit with it, and also like having the clarity plot wise of having read the book
Right.
for anything that they might have taken creative license with.
I love that they kept that when he like goes to open up the thing of money and it just like almost falls out of his hands. I'm like, no, it's awkward for him.
Yeah.
That's fine. Don't reshoot that.
Of course it would be.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. God, this movie, I just love it.
There's a plot somewhere in there,
And that's the thing.
but I don't know what it is. I still am confused.
This was the most difficult part of the film for me to deal with the first time I watched it, and now it's my favorite thing about it is how dreamlike it is.
Yeah, that's how I would describe it. I was thinking of it like if you muted it and put David Bowie music behind this movie or any 4-minute clip of this movie,
Yeah, would make
where he's on screen, it's a David Bowie music video.
Yeah.
In fact, he wrote a bunch of songs for this that they chose not to use, and they became the
Yes.
album Low.
which
Right?
God tier album. Yes.
Yeah. Low. Yeah. I did my research.
I love that for you.
I cared.
Yeah. So, okay, I'm going back and forth in my mind as to which I want to reference first.
He looks so much like Frau, what's her face from Indiana Jones Last Crusade in that scene. What's the
I know
Nazi lady's name? And
Schneider.
Schneider? Yeah, Frau Schneider.
It's like Elsa Schneider.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When she wears the fedora at an angle over her face,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
it's
yeah,
shading half of her face.
Yep.
That's what he looks just like that.
It
There.
really is
I
giving
wonder
that.
if they were going for that. I mean, obviously, it was just stylish too, but
Oh, so this is another thing, or like that was another passage I wound up marking. That they do some really interesting things to make him even more alien in the book that can't quite carry over to film without a lot of, unless it was a very talky film,
well, there's room for talking in this film. There's a lot of silent scenes,
and
that's fine.
I like that, but
Not in the 2-hour film.
one of the details they include that I really like is that Farnsworth was a lawyer. He had an eye for detail. He saw instantly that there was something odd about the aspirin box. It was a common object, obviously a box of Bayer aspirin, but there was something about it that was wrong. And then later, when Newton is in like the custody of all the scientists, one of them, they come back to the aspirin box and they have this to say about it. As I'm sure you already know, this is a box made of platinum, which I'll admit is striking. It is also striking that, considering the quality of the materials and workmanship, as the phrase goes, it is a very inept imitation of a Bayer aspirin box. For example, it's a good 1/4 of an inch too large, and the colors are way off. Nor is the hinge made the way the Bayer people make them. He looked at Newton. Not that it's a better hinge, just different. He smiled again. But probably the most striking thing about it is that there's no fine print on the box, Mr. Newton, just vague lines that look like print.
So one thing is you probably wouldn't catch that in film because they already do that in film, and I can't remember the term for it. Flossing or glassing, or where it looks exactly like a Pepsi can, but it says like PC, P-E-E-S-I.
Yeah.
And so in your brain you just see Pepsi.
Mm-hmm.
So we would never have caught that if they tried to do that on camera,
Exactly.
because we would have just said that's clearly Bayer aspirin.
But it's such a cool way to show that he's like not of this world that I wish had been able to carry over, because that's like one of my favorite details from the book.
It's pretty interesting. Does he ever explain why he made a aspirin bottle out of platinum?
Assuming it was what was available
When he wanted to make an
Yeah.
aspirin box.
But yeah, it was.
Huh.
I love that detail.
It's an interesting choice.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's a lot of dong in this movie. To be honest,
there is.
surprisingly
Yeah,
large amount of dong.
and I think, and here's where I'm gonna get a little pretentious. Probably, I think there's. I think it's really interesting the way this movie often frames sex as like an alien, foreign, violent activity.
Maybe in his species, it's a different, thing, and so the carnal nature of the way we mate.
Because like, is this where they start cross-cutting in like that kabuki theater performance?
That's coming up real soon, and
like that in particular is like very, very blatantly framing sex as a violent foreign action.
The juxtaposition there of like what looks like very, also that sex scene is so aggressive.
It's very aggressive.
Like they're literally fighting with each other,
Mhm.
but laughing their way. So it's unclear,
Yeah.
Whether that's just his perception of what's going on, like how he perceives it, or if that's really the way that they're having sex. I don't know.
Yes.
This is probably, to my knowledge, the only movie in which somebody talks to somebody else's dong. I've seen like people like talk to their own for various reasons, usually in comedy.
Yeah.
But this one where she's like, it's that couple, and it's after they have sex and she's on the bed with him, and she she's like laying with her head next to it, and she like picks it up and says like "Good morning," and like tips it around like an inch from her mouth, and I'm like, this is hard R for this movie.
Yeah, welcome to art house cinema.
Yeah. She's talking into it like it's a microphone. Yeah, ground control the Major Dong.
Oh my god.
That's your space oddity right there.
Yeah, really.
But yeah,
Also, another thing I like about the way that this is structured narratively, it's like there's only the vaguest suggestion of time passing. And that is now one of my favorite things about this movie. Again, that is one of the things I struggled most watching this the first time.
yeah, there's no, it's, I think I read in the trivia they were talking about how like it's impossible to tell what time of day, what day has a day passed, is this the same day?
Mm-hmm.
Because again, you're supposed to feel like him. I'm going to give that to this movie hands down.
Yeah.
It makes humanity seem awkward and alien and disorienting.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I'll tell you what my biggest gripe is, but we can wait for later if you want.
I mean, I don't have like, I feel like a lot of times with other, like, I feel like my notes are a little deeper this time. Like with other movies, I'll wind up noting plot points or like smaller things, but here I'm like diving in.
Well, yeah, but you also know the material very well. You've seen it 4 times. You've read the book.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen any of the other versions? Like there's the 1988 version, and then there's a TV show.
I have not seen either of those.
Okay.
Yeah, this is fucking like violent.
Right, like she takes her shirt off and then like
Strangles
chokes him out
him.
with it.
The cross cutting here, it's so.
I don't understand, but also I enjoyed it. It's so awkward, but they're having fun.
Yeah.
They're both laughing. Remove the laughter from either one of them, and although that was a pretty manic laughter,
And it becomes.
yeah, but like that where he's
Yeah.
dragging her by the feet into the bedroom. They're cool. She's laughing. They're having
But
fun.
yeah, they're like clearly into it.
So I don't know if that's real or not.
Yeah. And
Like you said, dream sequence or drug induced, trip. Like this is so.
yeah, I think
Oh,
a
I
good,
didn't see that.
I think a
Where
good
she puts her underwear on the picture of them.
I think a good word for this movie is hazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's just, like, and it's probably because David Bowie was on fucking 10 grams of cocaine a day at this point,
It's just a lot.
which is a lot. But he just like he looks so out of place, or he looks like he's not there.
I don't know that there is a place where David Bowie fits in.
Yeah.
But he doesn't not fit in.
Mm-hmm.
You just be like, you stand out, but it's okay that you're here,
Yeah.
no matter where you are in the world,
Mm-hmm.
I just did not understand. And that's okay, because I wasn't supposed to. I was supposed to feel confused.
Mm-hmm.
So that's not the part that bothers me. But I just feel like this film suffered from trying to be too close to the book, maybe. And so that's why it's 2 hours when it could have pushed down to like maybe 90.
Possibly.
But maybe then it would have been too fast and we would have missed some stuff. I don't know. I can't think of a specific thing to cut out except for a lot of these big visuals here that take a while.
I don't know. I love how it takes its time.
You like your movies to be 3 hours long, super artsy, and to have several versions of them based on a book. Yeah. Because this is Solaris is the exact same thing.
Yeah, I do
Book
have
to
a
movie to movie to movie.
I have a
3 hours long.
I definitely have a type when it comes to my art house film.
Yeah. I don't mind artsy films. I don't know that I can sit down for 2 hours of it, I need a little more in between.
Yeah, I don't know. I just still got the fucking underwear.
Yeah. Is there a point to like everything is world brand?
Yeah, that's like all the corporation he established with all the patents. that he
Oh,
came
right.
to Earth with,
You're right.
so that
Yeah.
he could make money for his. Oh yeah, they reference this poem a lot in the book as well.
Huh. Is it relevant? I didn't read it.
Yeah, it's about like Fall of Icarus type thing,
I knew that was the name of the painting. Yeah.
and the poem has to do with that as well.
Yeah.
Oh, so another difference from the movie and the book is that when they're I'm getting ahead of us here.
That's okay.
But when they're in the elevator, David Bowie's character, Tommy, and Mary Lou, when they're in the elevator together and she like activates it, he breaks his leg because of the gravity.
Oh, yeah, yeah. But there's no increased gravity when an elevator starts up. So that's just not like scientifically accurate. It's not how that works. There'd be a slight increase in the number of G's, but it's like no more than stepping hard, you know?
Yeah, that was the justification in the book.
Yeah, really rough elevator.
Hmm.
If it, snapped a leg.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, brittle bones.
I'm laughing at my own note
Oh God, what's it say?
because of something that comes up later. I wrote down, if David Bowie looked at me like that, I would fold like a wet t-shirt.
Okay. Okay. All right. I needed a squish sound effect, sir. There it is.
Sorry.
That's our David Bowie sound effect now.
Love that.
Also a good David Bowie sound effect. I don't know.
Did you hate it?
I didn't hate it. This was better than Solaris by far.
Okay, I win.
Yeah.
That's all I wanted.
Like light years ahead of friggin' Solaris. But as far as artsy film goes, yeah. I like the sci-fi of Solaris better, but the actual enjoyability of the film, this is better. Because this is barely sci-fi. You know, it is. Don't get me wrong. He's an alien.
Yeah.
But you could just as equally remove that and just have him.
The focus isn't on the science fiction. It's on the philosophy.
Yeah. Yeah.
At least in the film. Like they definitely talk a little bit more about the sort of like nuts and bolts science fiction in the book.
Right.
But you can let that take a back seat in this format.
And that's fine. I understand why. It would be like minutia that would have made this an even longer movie or a boring movie.
Yeah.
Trying to get into all that.
Yeah. Love
Yeah.
the way this is shot. Oh, so for his costumes, apparently he was so thin that some of his costumes were like boys' clothes.
Yep, I read that. I
'Cause
was
he was
so
like-
excited. So funny.
Because he was like 5'10" and fucking like 100 pounds probably.
Yeah, yeah. What there's a term for that type of thin. What do they call it? Oh yes, cocaine thin.
Yeah, cocaine skinny.
Cocaine skinny. Yeah. And he really was.
He really was.
Knowing that the character's supposed to be like 6'5", 6'6", I see why maybe if they knew Michael Crichton, like why you'd pick that out of a hat. You know, he's a tall guy. Let's get that tall guy.
Yeah.
But I just don't think his look would have been right. He's not alien looking enough. Whereas David Bowie
looks pretty alien.
If you told me he was an alien or an elf, I believe it.
Oh, 100%.
No arguments.
None whatsoever.
Dave wore a lot of Oshkosh. What is Oshkosh Bagosh?
They really lay it on thick with her naive charm, I will say.
Charm. That's a word for it.
Or what they want it to be.
Yeah. They want it to be naive charm. She's fine. It's but
I think she does a good job with what she's given.
yes. I remember I read something about this scene, but I can't remember what it was.
Oh, they had to rig up like a skateboard and a bicycle seat to make it look like she could lift him.
Yes. Yeah. Because he's supposed to be super light, even for David Bowie, lighter than that.
Yeah.
Oh, man. So my biggest gripe with this movie is how he looks when they're trying to force him to look like an alien. So
Okay.
the suit stuff doesn't bother me, like with the tubes and everything and stuff on him.
Which
That's
that's kind of giving Dune.
Yeah, it's very acceptable. I go with that. But when he does the lizard eyes and lizard skin, I don't know.
I mean, I'll take it.
It's fine, but like
I
I don't feel like it helped this movie. He's already just slightly alien.
I don't think it hurt it.
It did for me. I really enjoy that he threw up not in the garbage can. She ran to get
Realism, baby.
Yeah. That's not fake blood, I'm sure. The blood streaming down his face is just he sneezed.
But yeah, probably.
That shit's dry. Go. Back to this lady. Here we go. She's about to talk to it.
Yeah, also there's some comment about like not like my two people made comments about not like my father.
Yeah, that's what she said right there. That's right.
What the fuck is that about?
Yeah, she picks it up and she looks at it and she goes, "Good morning. You're not like my father," or whatever. Or so,
A fucking pardon?
that's one of the trippy things about I was trying to push her head down. It's so weird.
It is so fucking weird.
I now don't remember who these people are or they're different. I just realized that's two different couples.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this movie does a couple weird things with time. Like shows multiple events happening at the same time.
Yeah, they're like, if you're not paying attention, you won't realize there's two shots happening here.
Exactly.
Yeah. Although they put glasses on her to try and help you, but who was looking at her glasses, you know?
Yeah, really. I will say, a testament to David Bowie's acting ability that he managed in the scene where they're in the church, that he manages to make himself look uncomfortable singing. Like uncomfortable trying to sing.
Right, yeah.
It's like, that's David fucking Bowie, and he looks like he's never tried to sing a day in his life.
That is a testament to his acting. You're right.
Like, I think he was an absolutely excellent choice.
I want to say that it was another thing I saw in the trivia where it was talking about how he just felt out of place, and so he would read the lines for the day and then come out and just read them like he was him.
Yeah.
Because he felt like he didn't belong there, and this was like his first major acting gig.
Mm-hmm.
And so he feels alien to it.
And it works so well.
Yeah. Love the eyeshadow. Just
Yeah, she's really pretty.
not her.
Oh.
Whatever his makeup is.
Yeah, he kind of kills it.
He's got those Elizabeth Taylor eyelashes going. So
Mm-hmm.
what else you got?
I
don't have notes.
There are some things about this movie that like still don't make sense to me. There's a couple scenes where it almost seems like the way things are cut together, it almost seems like Newton is seeing into the past.
Mm-hmm. No, that's I think that he's supposed to be being outside of time and space.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why we don't know. Like just now, it did a cut to the scene by going up to the painting and then back down. And now she's in a dress and they're like in some sort of formal relationship almost.
Yeah.
But we don't know how long it's been. Is this
No.
the next day? Is this a year? And so I think that's the whole point is he doesn't experience
if David Bowie looked at me like that, I would fold like a cheap paper towel.
Who wouldn't? He
Anyway.
just raised his eyebrows while laying down cheekily on a pillow. Like, yeah.
Woo!
Womp womp.
But yeah, other notes I have.
That got me wet.
Also just sort of random observation while watching this. This country really is stunning geographically.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Like just the vistas and everything. Gorgeous. But one of the things that another thing I think is most interesting later in the film, again having to do with the sort of like sex as alien activity, there's a sort of bodies as alien terrain vibe that I get.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I get that.
Make of that what you will.
I can only picture the scene later where he's a lizard dude and everything's just sloughing off of him and he's being weird. And
Yeah.
that's because of the way this movie is shot. so many of the sex scenes are shot that same like jumping around at camera angles.
Mm-hmm.
That's like I keep seeing that whenever a sex scene starts.
Yeah.
So I'll make of it that
Fair
David
enough.
Bowie and lizard skin sloughing off goo at me. Well,
Fair
now
enough.
see, now it got hot again.
With all the multiple TVs, I thought they did a good job. Their depiction of like overstimulation with the like leave my mind alone and having everything cut together really rapidly.
Yeah. Again, there's probably not really TVs in every room like it seems like in the movie, but that's just how he feels.
Mm-hmm.
We're not seeing reality. We're seeing his perception.
Exactly.
And that's neat. Are there any scenes, like specifically because he's not in them, that are shot more realistically? Like here, it's nighttime now, and she's alone without him.
Yeah, I don't know.
Is it just when he's on screen that time gets all wonky?
You know, I never even thought.
The cat doesn't help because cats could sit in the same spot for a year and a half.
Yeah, exactly. Huh. But yeah, I love a lot of the little ways that they make him more alien, like, or make it obvious that he's from another planet. Like, he doesn't know Latin or the motto of the Royal Air Force.
Yeah. Yep. I just realized that our colors are wrong. That's okay.
It's fine.
It's fine. We're fine. Yeah. Yeah. Not knowing common things.
Yeah.
Again, it just helps you to feel like he's an alien in that way.
Oh, I liked kind of just gonna, you know what, let me just read off some of these. When they're talking about how when Mary Lou, she figures out that he's an alien eventually.
Right.
And when they're having a big argument over it, and she says that, like, you know, for as smart as he is, he still doesn't know, like, you know, he doesn't know how Earth works.
Yeah, I thought that was a good line. But it's because he doesn't have the mind of a human. He doesn't have
Exactly.
a life of being on this planet and experiencing this, which is so foreign to him because his home planet is just weird little igloo hut things. Oh my God.
There we go.
Things are happening. He lives in like a weird little space igloo hut thing on a desolate.
Again, the
planet.
alien design really kind of was giving Dune.
I never saw Dune, so.
Oh, whatever.
I never read or saw Dune, even though I'm a huge sci-fi nerd.
I read all 7 Dune books.
I would read them and I would watch it. I just never have, and I just never put in the effort.
We might have to do David Lynch's Dune.
Do that at some point.
It'll be a fun time. Anyway, when he's his extra alien self, I really liked the backwards shot with the contact, to make it look like the giant contact lens was going back in to cover his entire eye.
Oh yeah.
Good little cinema trick there. Nicely done. You can spot 2 album covers in this movie.
I only saw the one. What was
the cover for Station to Station and the cover for Low are both stills from this movie.
Oh, okay. I saw Low. I didn't see. Yeah. Okay. That makes sense.
Station to Station. It's a shot from when they're in the spaceship, like when he's giving him the tour of the inside of the spaceship that's like being built.
Yep. That makes sense. Here's one of the scenes from like 1,000 TVs.
Oh, I love this. I noted they're in this black and white movie that's playing on the TV. The 2 characters saying like, "Oh, people get too attached," and that's exactly their trajectory.
Oh yeah, it's excellent foreshadowing. You know,
they do that a couple times in this. I just love it. Beautiful narrative device.
I'll have to read the book at some point to see how much the book follows true to that, where it sets things up so clearly. I don't know. They did it with the Platinum aspirin box, though. That was like a Chekhov's gun. Why mention it? Because later on, you're going to find out he made it.
Yeah.
He just made it.
Yeah, and again, this like just the vague suggestion of time passing, like, you know, they had to get all these TVs, had to, you know,
Yeah.
get them in the same place somehow, but now we're here.
Oh, I forgot she peels her nail off. It's gross.
Yeah, he's so out of place. Nothing he does seems natural.
Which, I mean, that's just David Bowie. I can't
Yeah.
tell what he's acting. I don't know.
I think there was very little acting in this for him, in the place he was in his life.
I did read that for the major sex scene there, they were both so nervous, and she'd never done nude modeling or anything, never done a sex scene, and this is his first major acting, and they both panicked so much they basically just disrobed and then like ran at each other and then started wrestling around, and the director had to stop and be like, "This isn't a wrestling match. Slow it down."
It's okay.
Which again, that just feels like I could see David Bowie being, but not no. See, I don't picture David Bowie being nervous about sex.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Like, I feel like he was 14, figured it out, and he figured it out. Just one time, he was like, "Got it. Put a patent on that."
What else do I have
What you
that's
got?
relevant?
It's all relevant.
Later, when he's being held captive by the scientists, I love that apartment set. I think it's very cool.
That's a good, yeah.
Also, like, I just love seeing all the
Let's
style
see.
in this film, like the 70s, like clothes and
I was gonna say that
architecture.
with her earlier with the way the beading was on the side of her shirt and everything. It's just really interesting. Her heart pattern on her other dress.
Yeah, I love all the 70s garb.
Here's the other thing. Time has passed. They are like living together and stuff, but now she's
Yeah.
taking a bath and he hesitates to come in, and she's like, "Don't be shy." The implication is almost that this is new to him and to her.
Yeah.
But they're living together, and so where in the timeline is this?
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
very Memento,
It's so
but
yeah, it's
with
so
less
vague.
clarity.
It's so vague.
When I was in high school, I had a teacher for the film class that I was taking that thought Memento was too confusing, so he chopped it up and put it in order,
No.
and the movie was just bad. And so like I could just see someone like really working hard to see the clues to figure out the timelines, and then trying to do that with this, and this movie just being
just bad.
a shit box.
Like, he looks uncomfortable singing.
How do you make David Bowie? Well, he is singing Christian music, so in a church. I feel like David Bowie would be pretty uncomfortable in a church.
But yeah, just I think that's such a testament to his acting ability.
She's into it.
Oh, it's so sad later watching him get studied.
Mm-hmm.
It's fucking rough.
But he's nailing. You know what's gonna happen.
Yeah. I think makeup wise they do a good job because time does pass as much as it's only sort of merely suggested. I think they do a good job of aging everybody in this movie.
Yeah. I don't know. I didn't see it as much. Oh, this is fine. Him and his weird family and their white jumpsuits.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't like the lizard thing later.
I mean, fair enough. For this like the depraved like sex scene between Tommy and Mary Lou, like one again, sex is a depraved, violent act, and excellent soundtrack choice.
I don't remember what it was. What was it?
Hello, Mary Lou.
Oh yeah.
Nicely done.
That will do it.
That will fucking do it.
A little on the nose, but 70s contemporary, mid 2000s zombie college apartment vibes. Yes. Accurate.
Also, in the book, when they x-ray him, it doesn't fuse his contact lenses to his eyes. It blinds him.
Oh. Both are terrible. But
Yeah.
I feel like the blinding is probably worse.
Yeah, I'm gonna say so. Also, at the end of the movie, you can see David Bowie's album in like among the record stacks, and 2, $4 vinyl.
That's pretty impressive. I think I could go with the $4 vinyl. I need to go to that store and I need to shop.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, God, that just ages everything so much.
Mm-hmm. The ending of this is so fucking bleak, man.
I mean, it's an artsy sci-fi movie.
Which, like, yeah, what were you expecting?
Name a positive artsy sci-fi movie, you know?
Yeah.
Hell, name a positive, like, artistic film. They almost always have some sort of dramatic and bleak ending.
Yeah.
That make you feel something. That's the
Mhm.
point, you know? It's not Disney. No, they hit you with that in the beginning, like with Up. Then they build up a movie after that. Or Bambi. Build up a movie after that.
No, here we end with that.
Yeah, end with tragedy.
Yeah, I love this movie. And I love the fact that it like took me a while to get it. I don't know, there's something just very satisfying to me about the like finding something that makes you want to dig deeper, even like despite some like initial kind of like discomfort or feeling out of your depth.
Yeah. I'll probably try it again at some point when I can sit down and think about what I saw last time.
This is what I was talking about, where it's like he's like existing outside of time. He looks like he's like seeing into the past somehow.
Yeah, and it's not his past. That's the part that's confusing.
Exactly.
Because the other scenes when he does it, it's kind of like almost him remembering. Like he just did it where he saw himself stumbling down the hill again.
Mm-hmm.
But this is like pioneer villagers watching his car drive by.
Yeah,
as though they can also actually really see it.
Yeah, this is a little confusing. I will fully cop to still not getting that.
I don't really know if that's the past or the future or nothing.
That one's lost on me. I will come clean.
I love this car. I don't know why.
Yeah, that car is pretty awesome. Do we want to get into ratings?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's get into ratings.
I'm not gonna lie, this is like a 9 out of 10 for me. Rewatchability.
Okay.
Fucking love this movie. I think it's absolutely excellent. I like some time between rewatches to kind of like sit with it. But this is an awesome fucking movie. I love it. It's beautiful. It is mesmerizing.
For rewatchability, I think I need to rewatch it to be sure. But like right now, I'm not super motivated to rewatch it.
Valid.
But I do think you should watch it. So I'm gonna put it right on the line at like a 5. And then I will rewatch it. And maybe it's a little higher after a second viewing. Because it's just so jarring and confusing.
Yeah.
At times.
I love when I find these things. I had the same experience with Eraserhead and a lot of like David Lynch's other work. Where like
Eraserhead.
Oh, that does technically count as sci-fi.
There's a lot of things that we can get away with.
But when I find something where like I don't like it at first, but something keeps drawing me back, I love that experience.
I definitely do feel like I want to see this one more time to be sure.
I love it.
Oh no, what? No, that's not sci-fi. And if it is, I didn't watch enough of it to see the sci-fi part of it. It's so bad.
I don't think it's bad.
Skinamarink is literally one of the worst films. I don't stop films. I watch bad films. I stopped Skinamarink. It's so bad. It's unwatchably bad. That broke the internet in like 2015 or whenever it came out.
I don't know about that.
I mean, it's a pretty divisive film. But nobody's like, it's my favorite movie. So some people are like, it was a good movie. And other people are like, it's absolute garbage. So
I would
the law of averages.
I would say I'm in the camp of that's a good movie.
You are entitled to believe that.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Shut up.
Thank you.
There's something I love so much about the experience of digging deeper with something.
Yeah. Is that what you like about Skinamarink? Is that you have to dig deeper, do research, and figure out what the fuck is going on?
Kind of, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I didn't ask for homework. I asked for a movie. So if it's not clear to me what's happening,
I like when the
You
movie
fucked
gives
up.
me homework sometimes. Not in every
no, because I'm
like,
interested. If I'm interested, I'll go do some more research. Oh, well, is that normal lore? You know, it's a Scandinavian werewolf movie, and it had this. You know, like, is that normal in Scandinavian werewolf lore? You know,
Mm.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
Yeah, like all the shots outside are beautiful in this movie. There was the lake scene earlier,
Mhm.
and even the first scene when he's coming down that desolate hillside into the abandoned building.
They still make it look beautiful.
Around everything else is pretty beautiful.
Mhm.
He just happens to be in this weird, desolate one spot.
Mm-hmm. What it does for the genre,
yeah.
I would probably say about a 6.
I don't know. What does this do? Like,
I mean, just stylistic. Like, I think it's a big moment for the art house sci-fi film. Let me put it that way.
I can't think of a movie before this that filmed almost from the perspective of the protagonist in a way that worked so well.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll give it a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, you feel alien in this movie.
Oh,
You're looking at
100%.
people and thinking, are they normal or am I normal? Because
Exactly.
I don't know anymore because
Mhm.
they're acting weird, I think.
Yeah.
So I will give it some credit there. So some credit where credit's due. So maybe like a 5 or a 6. Probably a 5. But
Yeah, this is such an like, I feel like such a pretentious asshole talking about the like actual artistic merit of a sex scene, but it's such a good way to show how fucking alien he is, that like one of the basest human activities needs to be like physically demonstrated.
one of the bestest human activities has to be physically done. Sorry.
You're funny. I was trying to make a serious point there for 2 seconds.
Oh. That's the show we do. No, you have your whatever happens where you can get pretentious and yell at Nick. This is not that show. You can be pretentious and I can be an asshole.
You know what? Fine, I'll take it. And I completely lost my train of thought about that.
Yes. No,
God
go.
damn it.
You're being pretentious about her boobies.
Oh yeah, base human activity needs to be like physically demonstrated, and like to the point of like where she like literally like has to like take his hand and be like,
Yeah, do this. Touch here.
Yeah.
Do this. He figures it out.
he does figure
Although
it out.
that when he's got his face sideways to her face. He's holding under her chin and like just above her eyes
Yeah,
to
he
kiss
has-
her. It's so awkward.
It's so awkward. You feel like a fucking alien. He has no fucking idea what he's doing.
Shoves like 3 fingers in her mouth.
Yeah.
What the fuck is going on?
Mhm.
I'd say it's softcore porn because we don't see penetration, but that's it. That's the only reason it doesn't.
Yeah, honestly. And
We don't ever see stroke. We don't ever see Bowie's dong.
yeah, you do.
Do we?
Yeah, in the final one, it's
Oh.
the strobe lights.
Yeah. That's it. So it's a little different.
I had a thought and then I lost it again. God damn it.
Bit her on the ass.
Yeah. Also, this is odd.
This part was so weird where they're just staring at each other and then they're staring at you
Mm,
and it's flashing
yeah.
back to. I don't understand what that's supposed to make me
another
feel.
that's another thing where I'm like, that one's lost on me too. There's
Yeah.
like 1 or 2 things in this film where I'm still like, you lost me. Like,
I definitely feel like you need a making of. Like
Yeah.
a book that's the making of where the director tells you everything and like what he was thinking.
mhm. Yeah. There are things that are still lost on me, even though like this is such a highly rated film for me.
With 10 G's of coke and we had no choice but to be softcore.
Very mature.
Yeah, that's good. Again, what show do you think this is? Like,
yeah, I know.
I mean, we're not normally horrible, but we're not highbrow here.
Yeah, no, not even a little bit.
Did you watch Space Truckers?
And I didn't have a bad time.
That's good. I'm glad to hear it. All right, let's do it. Who would you recast in this movie that you think could possibly make the movie better?
I really don't know if
It'd
I
be an
have an
ancillary character. It'd have to be an ancillary
because
character.
I really don't know if I have an
Like,
answer for this.
Yeah,
You
you just pick a random third party person that's like in the movie kind of a lot. Just recast Rip Torn. Somebody else.
Yeah, sure. Fine. Whatever.
Gene Hackman instead of Rip Torn. No.
That doesn't make that's
Who
fine.
fucking cares?
That's fine.
And how would you break the movie? Literally anyone but David Bowie.
Move anything, anything 6 inches to the left, and this movie is broken.
It just would be bad. It'd just be weird.
He makes this movie. Yeah, this is a great depiction of overstimulation. Just like all the shots
Just
from the different
so
TVs
much
melding
happening.
into one.
Yeah. I just don't even understand what he's trying to take in all
Yeah,
of this.
I have no idea. There are some aspects of this that are still, I'm like, gonna have to think about that more.
It's like a fever dream watching this scene with everything happening so much.
Yeah.
But also, like I said, take this clip here and put David Bowie music to the background of it, and there you go.
Music video.
Fame.
It works.
It would.
What's your favorite Bowie album?
I don't really do albums. I happen to know a few of them, but I wouldn't know what's off of what. If you want to know my favorite David Bowie song, I could tell you it's probably either Fame or Space Oddity.
So valid, King.
But I don't really know albums. Even for my favorite bands, I don't pay attention to what album things are off of.
Fascinating.
Yeah. I do buy albums, and then
I'm learning about how the whole other half lives.
no, I don't care what album something is from, except when there's multiple versions of something. So for the artist Alkaline Trio, I can tell you based on the cover art for a song that comes on what version it's going to be, and if I like it better or worse than another version. But
Nice.
I don't know everything else on that album.
There you go.
Although, again, when you're talking about an artist that's been around for a while, you might have that swing album that changes things a little bit.
Mhm.
So sticking with that example, because it works, they tried to go, I don't know, maybe a little more ska-y in the album Damnesia. So there's horns more prominently featured in some of the songs stuff. So you can kind of tell off of there, but that's not a make or break for me. So I don't have a favorite album per se.
Fair enough. My favorite album is The Rise and Fall of Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars.
I wouldn't be able to tell you a single song off that album because I don't know the albums,
Anyway.
I broke her brain for the third time today. Now I'm singing the theme song to Malcolm in the Middle.
Trying to think.
Love that. What's up, buddy?
What's up? Just surviving the storm.
I'm glad you're doing that.
Yeah. I'm putting in the hours at the firehouse so that I can
How is that
continue with
going?
that. It's going fun.
I love that for
I'm
you.
not allowed to do anything right now.
Mm.
It's certified on stuff, but it's fun. The technology has changed a lot since the last time I had to use it.
In a good way or a bad way?
No, in a great way. You don't have to pick stretchers up anymore, or it's really cool.
Not
They're
bad.
all automated loader things,
Damn, what a time to be alive.
Other than that, I'm just trying to find time to fit in hobbies and stuff, but between the podcasts and other group obligations, whether they're by choice or just obligations, I just don't have time for a lot. It sucks. I want to start reading more again. I want to start watching films that are on my list that I've never gotten to, but I just don't have time.
You hate to see it.
Trying to build my werewolf database.
I love that.
Fucking hard.
What pitfalls are you running into?
So, my pitfalls are that I'm doing exactly what I said I was going to do. And what I said I was going to do was create metrics and then start inputting information into those different categories to rate a film. So like, how many minutes is the werewolf on the screen?
Mm-hmm.
How long is the movie? Therefore, the ratio of werewolf on screen to length of movie. But
Okay.
this is important. I realized as I'm doing this, is the werewolf a protagonist or an antagonist? That changes what that ratio should or shouldn't be.
Hmm.
An antagonist werewolf can barely be seen on screen
And be
and be an
excellent.
amazing movie. But a protagonist werewolf, I need him to be a wolf at least, a good portion of, and when I say good portion, I mean like a valid ratio of the time. So what I have to do is I start inputting these numbers, then I realize there's some other thing I need to be weighing in on. And then the other thing I do is I have movies that I've scaled that I know are like 1 or 2 stars, and they need to stay down there.
Mm-hmm.
And other movies that are 8, 9, 10 stars, and they need to stay up there. So as I add in more rubrics that I'm measuring on, if it skews things, so that American Werewolf in London drops down to like an 8,
We have a problem.
we have a problem. It should never be below a 9, no matter how critical you're being.
No, you're so right.
I mean, it's a 10, but anyway, that's
You're so right.
but so it's just I gave myself a lot of work, and I'm following through. So it's slow going and tedious, but the end result is eventually I'll be able to start watching more werewolf movies again, and we'll have a very well thought out and rounded werewolf database.
I love that for you.
And you'll be able to sort on things like, what do you care about? You don't like protagonist werewolf movies. Okay, you can filter those out, and then you like it when the werewolf is on the screen and it's very graphic and gory. Those are things that I've rated, so you can filter on that,
It sounds incredible, and I cannot wait to see the finished product.
Love cats.
Love cats.
I like love cats.
Love it. You could make a loaf rabbit.
True. Oh, ooh, or a loaf panchita.
Loaf pochita. That'd be so cute. LIMDB. I like that.
TM. Get that.
That's
trademark.
his. That's his.
Nah, I want that. Delete comment.
Yeah, this is where the station to station cover comes from.
Yes, I realize now what you were talking about. Yeah. IMDb. I love that so much.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I also haven't been up to. Why do I feel like I've been up to so much when I ask people, "What have you been up to?" And I'm like, "Oh, then now it's gonna be my turn, and I can talk about all the things that I've been up to." And then my mind goes blank. I feel like I had so many things,
Then it's like, oh yeah, nothing.
and then it's like, wait, none of these count as things.
Every week when I go back to do the thing that I do every week or every other week, I go, let me see if there's anything I can talk about. No. There's like some TV shows that I watch. I caught up on Tulsa King. Such a good show. So stupid. So I started watching Godfather of Harlem because I'm waiting for something in between. It's like the same thing, but from a serious tone and about heroin in Harlem in the 60s. So funny Sylvester Stallone selling weed in Tulsa versus Forrest Whitaker murdering the shit out of people and selling heroin in 60s Harlem with Malcolm X.
Jeez.
Tonal shift, but the idea is the same. Guy gets out of prison and resurrects his crime
Yeah.
syndicate. That's the most that I've been doing in the entertainment world right now. That's not true. I'm a liar. I started playing through Diablo 2 Resurrected,
nice.
which I had never beaten Diablo 2 before. I played a lot of it, but I never beat it. And there's no cheating. Well, there is, but there's no input cheat codes that you can just do easily.
Mhm.
The only thing you can do is on an offline game, you can forcibly change the AI to realize to think that there's more players playing because it has a difficulty scaler based on the number of players in a multiplayer game. So you can type in players 8 and it now thinks that it's at the maximum number of 8 players, and it makes the game more difficult.
Mhm.
I'm very good at video games. I have no problem. I'm now running around in the first act of the game with really good gear because the drops are better,
Mm.
and I can't pick up money anymore because I've maxed out my money. I have nothing to spend it on either because the gear drops are better than what you can buy from
Nice.
at the shops. So it's almost boring. Like, I've broken video games to the point where I'm just like, oh, it's a game.
Yeah.
Kings of Amalur is a famous one for me because I had that on Xbox 360, and I realized when you can craft your own armor and stuff, and you can put gems in it that do different things. And I found a way that you put all the ones that give you HP regeneration, and there's literally nothing that can damage you to kill you in one shot. So it hits you, and you just heal. The worst thing you have to do is roll, and you don't take damage while rolling in any action RPG for fucking reasons. So you just roll for a second, heal, and go back.
Amazing.
I break games. I don't mean to.
Sometimes it's like that.
That's why I don't mind using cheat codes.
I have been playing a lot of Skyrim,
Mm.
and that's been fun.
It's been a while since I did Skyrim. I want to replay that again.
I started a survival playthrough because I hate myself.
Explain.
You have like there's like a hunger mechanic.
Oh, so there's like a mod hunger mechanic that you add.
Yeah.
So you have to eat. Very Minecrafty.
Pretty much.
I'm
No
okay with that.
fast
There's food
travel.
everywhere. No fast travel. That's only rough because it's boring.
Mm-hmm.
I think I would rather that they made the mod allow you to fast travel, but the food depletion would still happen.
Mm-hmm.
And if you got to the point where you were so hungry it would start to cause damage, then you can't fast travel till you eat
Mm-hmm.
food. That would work for me. Just because I don't want to walk from place to place in a very awesome large sandbox world like that is.
That's fair.
I mean, I just remember the first Morrowind was the first Elder Scrolls game I played, and that's such a huge map. And you're just walking around everywhere because the Silt Striders only go to the major cities, and a lot of the stuff is not there.
Mm. I have not played Morrowind. I'm gonna start a playthrough of Fallout New Vegas though.
I never played New Vegas. I played 2, 3, and 4.
Fallout 4 was the first one I ever played. I love that game.
I didn't beat 4. I gotta go back.
I did.
Yeah, I gotta go back through and finish that. In fact, I didn't even make it very far. I picked up the sheriff guy. That's about it.
It's pretty early.
It's the first time you meet like the Death Reaver,
Deathclaw.
Deathclaw. It's been a while.
Oh, I love Fallout. Yeah, I was really on my bullshit with that game for a while.
That's one where it's like super open ended and you can do stuff and like build things, you know. So I have a hard time playing games like that because I could just spend hours just building stuff.
I do think I have spent a fair amount of hours doing just that.
The newer Zelda game had a mechanic like that, and so people built all kinds of really cool shit, like a tank in Zelda.
Oh yeah, Kyle. Shout out Sleepy K. Kyle has shown me several videos of monstrosities people have constructed in Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah, it's crazy what people do.
It's nuts.
I love that for them, and I think it's really cool to watch. I would want to do stuff like that, and I don't want to spend the time doing the stuff like that.
Yeah. Oh, here's the thing I've been doing a shit ton of recently. Watching B movies.
Okay, that's
Just in-
schlock is my
Just
bread and butter.
watching some fucking schlock. It's been great. I watched Phantasm.
Okay, yeah, that's.
I watched Tourist Trap.
I don't love that one as much, but
I've been checking things off my list.
see, and that's what I want to be able to do. I want to go back and go, you know, here's a bunch of shit that I haven't watched that might be relevant to something.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah, so that's
find
a
time for
that's
it.
a great thing that I recommend. Here's the thing I recommend: take an edible and watch some B movies.
I mean, sold.
That's a great evening.
That
gonna
does
be-
sound like a good evening.
It's gonna be my recommendation to everybody watching this broadcast right now.
Take some edibles and listen to the broadcasts.
Yeah,
We'll find a
that.
B movie for you to listen to.
yeah, it'll be great.
I don't even know what I want to pick for the next episode. I had things.
I have a
was-
little list of
There-
some
There
things.
was something that you hadn't seen that I was going to.
Never seen Terminator.
That's a good one. Yeah, exactly. And that's another classic that I feel like you should, as a sci-fi show host, probably have under your belt because it's quintessential.
I'll watch
to-
Terminator.
Yeah, let's do Terminator.
Hell yeah. Oh, a thing I realized recently, we have to do Reanimator this year because it's the 40th anniversary of the movie.
Okay,
So
it's on the list.
that's coming at some point. I'm gonna be so fucking annoying.
We only do 2 episodes in a month, so do we want to do a Reanimator month and do Reanimator and then Beyond Reanimator?
Reanimator and Bride of Reanimator. Beyond Reanimator sucks, dude.
But it's the next one, isn't it?
No, it's Reanimator, Bride of Reanimator, Beyond
Oh,
Reanimator.
my apologies. For some reason, I thought it was the other way around. So we could do Reanimator and Bride and make like a month out of it. Nay, Rihanna Mater.
You fucking genius.
Come on. All right, so we know what we're doing in May.
We know what the fuck we are doing in May.
Nice.
All right. Hell yes.
But we'll do Terminator for next week. Well, next episode in 2 weeks.
Yes.
And then I'll keep looking for those like 70s, 80s, 90s sci-fis that are quintessential that you've missed. And you keep feeding me this stuff that I do have to check out from the other side of sci-fi.
I have some things on my list that are not art house.
I know. We've done some non-art house ones. It's just when you pick them, you pick very art house. It's like all or nothing.
It's
0 to
like
100.
It's like giving a dog a pill wrapped in cheese.
Yeah. You had me with David Bowie, but there's a pill in there. God damn it. He's so awkward in this.
He's so awkward. Again, sells it.
Like that man isn't eye fucking me through the screen right now.
Yeah.
It's the
Would we
least
like
believable thing.
Would we like to leave everybody with our words of wisdom?
We certainly do.
Don't shake alien eggs.
And never trust the android.
Bye.
Doing too much.
Thank you.